It was the year 1909, a time when the world was changing faster than ever before. People believed in progress, in machines, in dreams that touched the edge of the impossible. And among all those dreams stood one name, the RMS Titanic. The Titanic was more than a ship. It was a symbol, a floating city of luxury and pride, the largest moving object ever built by human hands. And soon it would become one of the most remembered names in history. The story begins in Belfast, Northern Ireland, at the Harland and Wolff shipyard. There, under the watchful eyes of thousands of workers, the Titanic began to take shape. Every rivet, every beam of steel was placed with care. The men who built her knew they were creating something special, something that would change ocean travel forever. The ship was commissioned by the White Star Line, a powerful British shipping company that wanted to compete with its rival, Cunard Line. Cunard already had two magnificent ships, the Lusitania and the Mauretania. White Star wanted something even greater, not just faster, but grander, a ship so luxurious that passengers would forget they were at sea. The project was led by J. Bruce Ismay, chairman of the White Star Line, and Lord William Peary, head of Harland and Wolff. Together, they imagined a ship that would redefine elegance and safety. And in their dream, they saw the Titanic and her sister ships, the Olympic and the Britannic. The Titanic would stretch nearly 882 feet long, with 9 decks and space for over 2,200 passengers. Inside, it would have restaurants, reading rooms, a gymnasium, Turkish baths, and even an electric elevator. Something rare in those days. Every detail was meant to impress. When people saw her for the first time, standing tall above the docks, they were in awe. Her hull, painted in black and red, glistened in the sun. 4 giant funnels rose proudly into the sky. Though one was purely decorative, added only to make the ship look more powerful. To many, she seemed invincible. The press called her unsinkable. It was a phrase that would echo through time. By 1912, the Titanic was ready. She was equipped with the latest technology, watertight compartments and remotely operated doors, designed to keep her afloat even if damaged. Engineers believed she could survive almost anything the ocean could throw at her. Her maiden voyage was announced, from Southampton, England, to New York City, across the cold North Atlantic, a journey of glory, comfort, and pride. On April 10, 1912, the Titanic stood waiting at Southampton's dock. Morning light reflected off her polished decks. Excited passengers began to arrive, their luggage stacked high on carts. Some were rich, aristocrats, businessmen, and celebrities. Others were poor, immigrants seeking a new life in America. But for everyone, stepping aboard the Titanic felt like stepping into the future. As the ship prepared to sail, the docks were filled with families waving goodbye. Some cheered, some cried. The Titanic's whistle sounded, deep, long, and powerful, echoing across the harbor. At 12:15 p.m., the great ship began to move. Her journey had begun. As the Titanic glided out of the harbor, something almost went wrong. The suction from her massive propellers pulled a nearby ship, the SS New York, dangerously close. For a moment it seemed there might be a collision before the voyage even started. But quick action from the crew avoided disaster. It was a small warning, one that few paid attention to. The Titanic stopped briefly at Cherbourg, France to take on more passengers, then continued to Queenstown, Ireland, now known as Cobh, for her final stop before the open Atlantic. At each port she gathered more souls, men, women, and children from all walks of life. By the time she left Ireland, there were 2,208 people on board. As the coastline faded behind them, no one could have imagined the fate that awaited. On board, life was peaceful. The ship moved steadily through calm seas. Passengers explored the endless corridors, the shining dining rooms, and the grand staircase, with its golden handrails and glass dome above. The air smelled faintly of polished wood and sea salt. In first class, the atmosphere was one of elegance and charm. Men wore tuxedos, women dressed in silks and jewels. They dined on fine china, with meals that lasted for hours. Oysters, lamb, champagne, and desserts served by uniformed waiters. The ship's orchestra played soft tunes, filling the air with gentle music. In second class, the mood was comfortable and homely. Teachers, clerks, and small families enjoyed their journey. They read newspapers, wrote letters, and gazed out at the endless blue of the Atlantic.